You've got a list of things to do on your task list. You have a busy day scheduled ahead. So how do you actually stick to your schedule and make sure that you actually do what you're supposed to do instead of just procrastinating the day away? I've been there. A few years ago, I used to have a super busy schedule for the week ahead. Every hour of the day was planned out. At 6 a.m. I'd wake up, 6:30 yoga, 7 meditation, 7:30 shower and get ready. But for me, in reality, a super packed schedule where every hour of the day was planned out actually made me less productive. And this is one of the most common mistakes when it comes to creating a schedule and actually sticking to it. I've been making these productivity videos on this channel since 2016, and this is, in my opinion, one of the biggest actionable steps that you can implement into your own schedule to get significantly more work done by the end of the day. And these are having your schedule revolve around 2 daily deep work sessions. I'm sure many of you have read or at least know about Cal Newport's book Deep Work, and the principle of deep work is based off of American-Hungarian professor Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi's research on flow state in the 70s and 80s. A person is in a state of flow when they are totally immersed in a task. When a person is in flow, they may not notice time passing, think about why they are doing the task, or judge their efforts. Instead, they remain completely focused. And that right there is what we're aiming for. 1 4-hour deep work session in the morning as soon as you leave the house. Go to a coffee shop, a library, your office, your room, wherever you're at your most productive. Turn off notifications, even better, put your phone in another room, put your headphones on with classical music if that helps you focus, and start your day with the task that will move the needle more than anything else. And you do this for 4 hours in the morning, let's say 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. Then you have a lunch break. It can be 1, 2, 3, even 4 hours. It's really up to you. But then you do another 4 hours of deep work in the evening. So let's say from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. And what this does is it gives you a time constraint. You know you only have 4 hours during that work session, and as Parkinson's law states, work expands to fill the time available. So if you give yourself all day to do a task, it will probably take you all day. But if you give yourself just 1 hour to do that same task, it will probably just take you 1 hour. So my entire schedule revolves around 2 4-hour deep work sessions. It's really important to understand that to stick to your schedule, flexibility is everything. I do think that if your schedule is full, where every hour of the day is planned out, then in some ways you're setting yourself up for failure. Because what if something unexpected comes up, like you ran out of milk and you need to pop to the supermarket, or you need a haircut, or someone books an unexpected meeting, then the schedule for the whole day will be thrown off. And that's why flexibility in your schedule is so important, and that's why I prefer time blocking. For example, with my schedule, I have my 2 4-hour deep focus sessions, and I also have a 2-hour time block in the evening where I have my Ironman triathlon training. So for 2 hours, I'll train either running and or cycling and or swimming. And it's flexible because if I have a meeting booked for the evening, then I can move my 2-hour training time block either earlier in the day or later on that night. I really can't stress this enough because I've made this mistake so many times before. If you want to actually stick to your schedule, it needs to be flexible. So when unexpected things pop up, which they will, then you can quickly plan your schedule around them. But of course, you need something to manage your schedule with some kind of calendar, right? So I really like using my calendar as a personal assistant, and I swear by Google Calendar. It's so simple. I swipe right on my phone and it's right there. It's pretty much runs my entire life. There's no way I'd be able to remember everything going on if I didn't have some kind of calendar app. A calendar is all about automating your life, right? So you don't have to remember that you have appointments, that you have activities, tasks, meetings to do during the day. Instead, your calendar, i.e. your personal assistant, will remind you. I have anywhere from 2 to 6 meetings a day, and I'm using cal.com as my scheduler. If you take meetings regularly, even just a couple a week, and you're not using a scheduler, in my opinion, you're making life a lot harder for yourself. I love cal.com. It's so easy to use, and it has a very simple and aesthetic user interface. I also used to use another scheduler for years, but with one of my businesses, I moved over to cal.com just to test it out, and I ended up sticking with it. And then I moved my second business's scheduler over to cal.com too, for a few reasons. Firstly, cal.com's free version offers a lot more features. For example, I love their dynamic meetings feature. Let's say I have a meeting with team members Tom, David, and James. Then I type into my browser cal.com/Tom plus David plus James. Then Cal will show me a group meeting calendar with everyone's meeting availabilities. And this is really helpful because I'm living in Vietnam right now and most of my calls are in the US, and that's around a 12-hour time difference. But thanks to cal.com, I can avoid time zone headaches as it arranges everything for me. Chances are you probably won't even need to move over to the paid premium version. And finally, it saves me so much time. So if you are interested in using cal.com for free, I'll drop a link in the description for you to check them out. And you can use promo code MikeD1K for $1,000 off the Teams plan. Totally worth checking out. I've already switched over to cal.com with both my businesses. I'd also suggest you set reminders within your calendar to automate your schedule even further, so you can set a reminder 15 minutes before every meeting, so it'll remind you, if for example you're not at your laptop, to start heading over to your laptop and prepare for the meeting. I actually just use Apple's alarm app for this, so during the day I usually have anywhere from 2 to 6 meetings, so I'll have 2 to 6 alarms that will go off throughout the day, remind me that I need to be somewhere, either an appointment, meeting, or even starting a 4-hour deep focus session. Now, sometimes it might be early afternoon, you've just had lunch and you're feeling tired, you just don't feel like you want to work. And that's okay. It is okay to feel lazy during the day. Our energy levels naturally fluctuate throughout the day. I purposely plan my 4-hour deep work sessions in the morning and late afternoon because those are the times of the day that I have the most energy and I'm at my most productive. So if you know that after lunch at about 1 p.m. you will start to feel a bit lethargic, a bit tired, then schedule a 30-minute or 1-hour nap at that time to recharge. A lot of being productive and sticking to your schedule is about managing your energy, not necessarily managing your time. And realizing this, for me, has been huge over the last few years in terms of just being more productive. I always used to feel guilty if I wasn't working during the day. So I'd be feeling really tired and I'd be pushing through and working unproductively, like just working / procrastinating / pretending to work. Now, if I want to have a break, I'll take a break, and that's okay, as long as I get my, 2 to 3, 4-hour deep work sessions in during the day, because productivity for me is not about working 13, 14, 15, 16 hours a day anymore. It used to be years ago, but not anymore. Now it's more about output. What do you actually produce by the end of the day? And because of that shift in mindset, I'm far more productive now than I ever was back then because I'm working smarter rather than just working harder. And if you like this video, you can check out my other video on how I'm now far more productive even though I don't work as many hours. I'm a big advocate of the 4-hour workday even though I've not quite reached there yet. You can click on this card right here to watch that, and do check out this video sponsor cal.com, link in the description below.